Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the CO visit. Colin here, and as you can see, I'm accompanied by my daughter Cosette,
Hi,
and we're both here with
or trusty coffee.
Trusty Coffee. That's right. So, well, want to welcome everybody to this special edition of the CO visit. So, finally, at last, you can see Cosette here and myself together, and we're going to talk a little bit about her experiences and her recent exit from the Jehovah's Witness religion. Okay, so Cosette, how have you been doing? How are you today?
I'm feeling good with my dad, finally.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so we're here as you can see outside. Nice day today. We're under our tree and a little bit of sun coming out, which is good. The rain's passed, and so we're gonna talk with Cosette about a few things, ask her a few questions, and of course we appreciate everybody's comments that they made before and very nice comments and wishes and everything else. We appreciate that very much. So I'm going to ask Cosette, first of all, since we're kind of do this in three parts, three blocks of questions. We talked about it beforehand, and I'm going to ask Cosette about what what things that she saw about this religion, about the organization, that caused her to start asking questions, that caused her to start doubting. Because I'm really interested on this channel in giving everyone a fresh view. Because as I mentioned before, especially within this ex Jehovah's Witness community, everyone kind of knows, like people from my age and generation and older, why we left. We grew up in a very different organization than she did. There was different, some different doctrines were there still, and different procedures. And the new light at that time is now old, and they got rid of all of that. So there's been changes in the past few years, changes to the preaching work, and changes to the dress and grooming and the beards and pants and all that kind of stuff, and the way that they are handling and treating um, the disfellowshipped ones, supposedly, although in practice it really hasn't changed that much. So I've talked enough. Let's talk to Cosette and see what her views are. So Cosette, so just the question. So before you can tell us a little bit about what your experiences were. So you got baptized when you were 9, right? So you were
Yeah.
very young. And so as you were growing and as you started, growing up and getting older, um, how did you feel about what you were experiencing as one of Jehovah's Witnesses? And what were the things that you saw, the doubts, problems that you observed in the organization?
Well, mainly since I was a little girl, I felt very pressured by everyone. They asked me when I was going to get baptized, and they told me to preach more because, for the witnesses, it's never enough for you could do this, you could do more. And I always felt very deprived of normal things like having friends and when I was a little girl, I always have to. I always wanted to go out with my friends, and when I asked them, they told me no, they're bad people and all that stuff. Even though they didn't celebrate Christmas, birthdays, things like that. So, like another kid, any other kid, I felt really bad seeing that other girls could have friends without restrictions, celebrate their birthdays, and not have so many obligations on top of them. So I couldn't resist the pressure, and I baptized when I got 9, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. And did you like did you understand, or did you see any reason not to do those things? Like not to have friends, not to celebrate the birthdays? I mean, did you see, what did you think about it? Like, was it hurting somebody? Was it doing some harm, or what did you think?
I always thought that it was ridiculous because they used to think that the people that was not a witness, they were bad people just because of that. And I used to think that
Mhm.
the Bible doesn't teach me this, so I never understood that.
Interesting point you just said.
Yeah.
And I want everyone at home to understand one thing: we didn't script this, we didn't practice this at all. I just told Cosette we're gonna have a video, and here we are. And so I just told her more or less like what we would talk about, the questions, and this is her 100%. And remember, guys, that pretty much, the past like 10 years or so or more, I haven't been in their life like in person a whole lot. So this is her experiences. This has no influence from me whatsoever. Interesting what she said about how the witnesses would tell her in the congregation, those people are bad. You can't have friends. You can't hang out with this person or do that just because they're not witnesses. Okay. That was the only basis. They're not witnesses, so they're bad people. Interesting, huh? Okay. So as he got older, Cosette, so of course that was when you're 9.
Mhm.
Okay. You're 9 years old. Now you're 16, almost going on 17. So you're getting into almost, an adult. You're getting close to that. And now I think you have much more ability to think critically and reason and
Mhm.
observe. And um, did you notice in the congregation, I think in your family, a lot, some discrepancy between what they were preaching and what they were living, like hypocrisy? What did
Yeah.
you observe?
Well, when I was a kid, my dad got expelled, my mom too. So the people in the organization will just treat me so bad, and I was just a kid, and also my family, because when I moved on with my dad in 2020, I just experienced so many things. I just felt so free. I could do new things, and when I got back, it was just a new me. I am interested in new things and gothic subculture and dark clothes and and makeup and
Mm-hmm.
these things, and just they treat me so they don't talk to me and all that stuff.
Yeah. But when you were with me, when you came here, what did you feel?
Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, I just feel freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And so what was happening with your family in Choluteca? Okay, your mother's family. What was happening there? That because they're telling you have to do this, you have to go to meetings. But what were they doing?
Well, one of my uncles have got married with a non-witness that she likes to parties.
A non-witness.
Yeah, a
Okay.
non-witness.
Yeah.
She likes to drink. She likes to go to parties, and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't want to go to the meetings. So they are forcing me to go when they are married with non-witnesses.
And he was expelled, right? He
Yeah,
was
he was
disfellowshipped.
expelled,
Yeah,
and other of my uncles got expelled too,
all of them.
and
Yeah,
other of my uncles,
yeah, another one.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And what happened with them? Why? Not that it matters. We don't care, but just to show, why did he get expelled?
they cheat.
Well, they say, excuse me, deleted, right? That's what they say now. But why? What did he do?
He cheated on his wife.
Okay, so one married a non-witness, and I guess because they found out about the relationship, right? He gets disfellowshipped. We'll just say DF'd. Okay. Another one cheats on his wife. He gets disfellowshipped. Well, your one uncle was never. He left a long time ago, either,
Hmm.
right? He left a long time ago. The other one right now, recently, who was an elder,
Yeah, he too.
same thing.
Same thing.
Cheats on his wife. And here, they're telling you have to. Oh, you can't see a like worldly person like a boy. You can't have a boyfriend. You have to go to meetings. They're telling you to go preach.
Hmm.
and all this stuff. And here, all of them are living their lives. They're doing whatever they want, right? They did what they wanted. Your one uncle, he fell in love with a girl. He liked her. They got married. No one was going to stop him, right? And yet they're telling you, you can't do that. You have to do this. You have to do that. Hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. So why should you give up your life and what you want to do and your dreams and your plans if none of them did, right? None of them did. So yeah, it's a lot of hypocrisy. So okay, so tell us, Cosette, how was how did you get to the decision to disassociate yourself?
Well, how I told before, I like these things that are not okay in the inside of the organization. So I felt like I was being two sides of me. That I was being this person, and when I was not with the witnesses, I was the other another person.
The double life, right?
Yeah, double
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
So I felt this is not okay. I cannot pretend that I'm a witness and just I fell in love with this guy. I think my dad
Yeah.
told this before.
Yep.
So I went with his family to mass because they're Catholic, and my uncles realized, and I told my dad, "Hey, my uncles realized that I was in mass, and it was a mess." So no, I wrote a letter. So I told to the elders that I was gonna dissociate myself to the organization.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And how did you feel during that whole what were you feeling during that whole process
Well,
when you decided to
I
do it?
was really scared because I just thought I can't do this. I can't do this because I just thought they're not gonna talk to me. How can I do this? So I wrote to my dad, and I told him what was happening. So I felt that I wasn't alone. So I took this decision, and I felt very very scared of this decision, but no, I'm okay.
And maybe you can mention to the people too that are watching um, something that you were surprised by because maybe you saw it in others, but you never experienced it yourself, right? When you made that decision in the next days, what changed? How did everybody change all of a sudden?
Oh yeah, that was so crazy because I wasn't expelled. I wasn't expelled, and everyone stopped talking to me, and it was so crazy. I was just so surprised because I just told my uncle that this decision I took, and everyone stopped talking to me.
Hmm. Yeah, but we kind of expected that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, whether you are disfellowshipped or you disassociate yourself, in the case of Cosette, okay, that it was just a decision. She didn't do anything other than that, anything wrong. Um, it's the same thing. You're going to get the same treatment. And if any of you out there are wondering, I think based on what she said, because Cosette's been here during the recent changes, supposedly, where, they could now, like, show a little bit more love to disfellowship people and talk to them and, like, at least greet them and have a little conversation with them and all of that. In practice, it's not really happening, right? Maybe it takes a while. I don't know, because they've practiced the other way so long. People are still going right to the shunning, right? They're just like, oh, you don't want to be a witness anymore. Pff, you're done. From one day to the next. And when you said everybody, you're talking about like your closest family members
Yeah.
that raised you, right? That were with you, that supposedly love you. So I think this is a issue that we've been talking about before, like with love, with fear, with all these things. There shouldn't be fear and love, right? Love and fear shouldn't go together. It shouldn't be conditioned. And if you really love a person, especially a child, you can't turn your back on them one day to the next. And I found that out, right now when I had to go to the capital city and pick up Cosette, and she came farther from there. The capital city's in the center, right? She had to come like 3 hours to get there. I had to go 3 hours to get there, and we met in the middle. And nobody helped her. Nobody was there. Nobody, not even her own mother, her aunts, uncles who used to, oh, they would do that. But now we had to figure it all out. And you know what? That's okay, because that's how this new path starts. This new journey starts. When you lose those connections with all those people and you start having to do everything on your own and figure things out, then you start to become truly independent, and you start to make new connections with other people, and you make new friends, and you find new family out there. And Cosette mentioned, for example, right now with her boyfriend and his family, I met them, very nice people, and they helped us tremendously. They gained my trust a lot, because they came with her all the way from Choluteca to Tegucigalpa just to bring her there, nothing else. And then they went right back, and her boyfriend Josue had to work that night, and he went all the way back. I mean, it was like almost 6-7 hour round trip, and then he went to work. I mean, not anybody, just anybody would do that. That was a big gesture of care on their part, of love on their part, and it really like touched me big time. And so you find, like they said, like she's going to the Catholic mass with them. They're Catholics, and that's fine. That's fine. You guys know on this channel, and I've said this about anybody, regardless of what views I've expressed about religion or about other things. That's my view. Okay, that's my view. That's a result of my life experiences. Cosette is another person. She has other experiences. She's going through her own journey, and if her journey takes her there, and she likes it and it works for her, well then go for it, right? But she'll go through that process and see where it takes her in this life, right? She's very young, but I'm glad it happened right now. So Cosette, why don't you tell all the people out there, there's many people watching, many different age groups. There's people from all different countries that are watching her. I've had people greet us from Netherlands, Australia, South Africa, Canada, England, all over the globe, and other like South American countries and places like that. So now that you're out, this happened to you, you're very young. Um, what message would you give to others who are right now, like kind of on the fence, like they don't know what to do? They're like the PMOs or others that aren't quite sure, or they're trying to make a decision. What can you tell them?
Well, I was like on my PMO era because I didn't know what to do. But you can't have a double life. You can't have a double life. And so if you if you don't know what to do, you gotta live. Trust me, if you feel scared like I was because I am only 16, you are not alone. You have God, and if you live the organization, you're gonna feel so good. You're gonna feel freedom, and God's gonna help you, and you're gonna be okay. Trust me. If I could, you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And you made that decision yourself.
Yeah.
You came to that conclusion, and you guys heard it. You felt scared.
Yeah.
You went through those emotions. What's going to happen? What are they going to say? But in the end, I think what I'm hearing from you is that your biggest, I guess, like conflict, your internal conflict, was that you had to make a decision, right? And I think that's why I've told you guys, Cosette's a lot like me, right? In that aspect, that if you just don't feel good with yourself, so like she said, she's interested in, she has her art, she draws, and has a little business with that. Okay, and people pay her to do drawings of different things, and so she has that going on. She's going to school. Hopefully, she'll be able to continue studying at college, uh, and has the opportunity, a great opportunity here in Honduras, to work at what's called the central bank, which is an excellent opportunity. Will give her, a great position, income, very stable job, and she has the kind of an in already to get in there and have a job, and give that up, give all of that up for what? For what? some kingdom interests. The end's coming. When? What end? Right? The end was coming for me. I don't think it was any more urgent. The end was going to come. I was telling Cosette today about the history of, like, when I was growing up, the 80s, 90s, how urgent we felt the end was because of the generation of 1914. They were disappearing. They were all dying. And we were taught that before they all died, the Great Tribulation would start. Well, guess what? They all died. They're gone. And what happened? Nothing. Once again, just like in 1919, 1921, 1936, 1975, and then with the generation of 1914 dying, how many supposed ends are that already? More than 5, these predictions. And so what happened? Well, they had to start new light. They had to start changing, right? They had to come up with new doctrines to cover for those things that were failing, right? And now basically the urgency's gone. There is no urgency anymore if you're a witness, because what urgency can there be? In the look at the ministry right now, what happened with the preaching work? You don't have to keep track of time anymore. There's no time. So you can just go out, whatever. Just, oh yeah, I participated. You check a box. That's it. So you could like not go out ever in service and just say you participated. Who's gonna know? It's kind of like the anointed thing. Like, who would know, right? Only you know. So they've pushed the end back like indefinitely. That it's like never. Who knows when it's gonna come? Never, maybe, right? And so sooner or later you come to that realization, like, hey, I'm wasting my time. My life is going, right? Time marches on and nothing's happening, and I'm giving up this. I gave up that, my talents, my dreams for this organization. And I'm telling Cosette, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to give up who you are. I don't want her to go through the same things I did when I was growing up and as a witness, that I was constantly getting criticized and oppressed because of the fact that I was a musician. I like to sing and play guitar and be in a band, and it was always no, that's bad. Can't play this, can't play that. Oh, the bagpipes. Oh, you did this, you did that. You can't dress that way. Your mustache. And it's just one thing after another, and it gets to the point where you get so sick of it, of all the little rules. You don't even want to do it anymore. You get so disappointed and just let down. It's like, you know what? I don't want to play music anymore. I don't want to sing. I don't want to do anything. And you just like die inside. You die inside. Okay. I don't want that to happen to her. That's not fair. And she has a very bright future ahead of her. Thank goodness that she figured this out at her age and not at my age when I was, about 10 years ago. Well, I knew way before that, I think, but it took me a long time to actually leave. That was a process, but that didn't happen until 2014. I was in my mid 30s. She figured this out at 16, and good for her. Good for her. I applaud her for that. And now she'll have lots of time to get her life together and just do whatever and be the best thing she can be and experience everything out there and take the opportunities, and nothing's going to hold her back. No more, oh, I can't do that because I'm a witness. Oh, I can't do that because of the meeting. I can't do that because of this. No way. Life is too short for that. Gotta fly, So, well, Cosette, anything else you want to say or mention or closing thoughts or?
It's okay.
No? Okay. Well, I hope you can continue on, and that we'll have more opportunities to do this. Anytime, if you want to make on your own, if you want to make videos, either you can do it yourself or through my channel. You want to talk about something, you want to talk about your feelings, what you're doing, or if it's not even, doesn't have to be Jehovah's Witness related. It can be anything else, just so they see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can make a video, just send it to me. I'll edit it and I'll put it on the channel here, and then people can see you. You want to see more of Cosette? Put it down in the comment section. Let me know, okay? So, well, as you can see, guys, this is what's important. This is important. Family, love, okay? Those of you that are out there, and I know that there's active witnesses that are watching this. I know there are active witnesses out there that are shunning people. You're shunning your family, your brothers, sisters, parents, or children even, okay? And we went through that. But here's my child now. She's with me. we're living life now. I can be with her, hug her, kiss her, we can talk. What's more important than this? You're going to put the governing body or this religion above your children, above your blood, above love? Don't. Don't do it. Make the right choice. You know that there's something inside of you telling you it's not right. If you want to call that God, your conscience, whatever it is, listen to that. Okay? Like I always say, if something just doesn't feel quite right, it probably isn't. You know? So, okay, guys. Well, thank you guys for all watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us by watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. It's not going to cost you a thing. And we'll keep making more and more videos here on the CO Visit, and you'll see more of Cosette in the future. And thanks for joining us. See you in the
Bye.
next one. Bye bye.